Gamers. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kahi.
And we're the Genshin Guys. Welcome all. This podcast is for fans of Genshin Impact, the mobile game made by Hoyoverse, also known as miHoYo. Here we talk about our opinions, experiences, and dreams about Genshin Impact. If you like our show, don't forget to subscribe on Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the podcast. Before we get started into our topics today, Kahi, how are you doing?
Cold, but it's great because it was incredibly difficult to get up in this weather because I just was so tempted to stay in bed. But we had a podcast, so I had to come out. And I told you just before this recording. Apparently, I had to fix a roof because making a squeaking noise. And I did
just
not
like a random roof, or is it
podcast.
is it your roof, or
no? It's a little greenhouse outside my window next to the garage.
okay,
Apparently,
like a little shack.
Yeah, a little shack. A little piece of wood got stuck on the top and kind of like was rubbing against other pieces of wood, making squeaky noises. And apparently, I think that's why I just wanted to keep sleeping, because it may have actually woken me up throughout the night a couple times.
Oh,
I can't remember, but it might have been that. So yeah, other than that, actually pretty well rested. There's like a nice cool breeze coming in, and I have yet to even like make a dent in my anime queue, and I keep seeing screenshots of like some of the shows that I'm watching, and it's like 3 episodes ahead. I don't know, I feel like so far behind.
Oh no.
No, I'm getting spoiled already, especially like My Hero Academia. Are you still following that or no?
I am not. I've not watched past 2 seasons, so.
Oh my god. Oh, okay, the past.
Like I did watch from the
previous season.
the My Villain Academia arc. I just barely started it.
Okay, current season and last season is the craziest the show has ever been. Just hands down. Because like stuff
no
hits
spoilers.
the fan. I know, I'm just saying. It's really intense. Like I did not expect it to go this hard into like battles, but wow. Okay. But other than that, what about you, Josh? How are you doing?
Well, first of all, now I want to watch that. second of all, yeah, I'm doing pretty great. I was doing this morning a different podcast for Coffee and Culture where I got to interview Teyvat Historia, which was really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll talk about that a little later, but that was like my morning. But yeah, I just I've been reading a lot of comic books. It's really nice to have a hobby that is not looking at a screen. So I'm still doing that.
True.
And there was something else I wanted to mention. I don't know.
Just
I can't
a few
think of
little
it.
things here, but yeah, we can roll into like our weeks and announcements and outlines. That's fine.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, like that's the short version. I've been playing games here and there. I've been talking with a lot of people in the community. That's fun. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good. So let's go ahead and roll right into today's topics. The first topic is, of course, our weeks in Genshin, followed by Genshin news, followed by a little recap that I'm going to have of the discussion that I did earlier today with Teyvat Historia on the Coffee and Culture podcast. We're going to do our Who's Voiceline segment and our Kahi's Riddles segment. So we know that you all are really looking forward to those segments, so we're going to do those as often as we can, every other podcast or so, maybe, we'll see, but definitely enjoyable for us as well. We're going to be doing the community discussion question, and we're going to be doing a new segment this episode that's going to be persisting through all the episodes, hopefully, called Last Wish. So we will talk about that a little bit later. Okay, so my other announcement that I want to give you guys is the Discord server. The Discord server, for those of you that have not joined yet, that want to join, the description is being moved to the top of, the link is being moved to the top of the description. So if you look at the episode, you should see the link first thing right there. If you're interested in joining our Discord server, where we have a community where we recently just started doing a lot more co-op things together, talking about builds, talking about advice, talking about lore. If you are interested in that, please feel free to come join our Discord. Of course, it is free. You can come hang out and talk with us. So yeah, if you haven't done that already, join us. So with that being said, let's get started with our weeks in Genshin. Okay, Kahi, how was your week in Genshin Impact?
So I finally finally hit rank 40 on that Sakura tree and unlocked the
Oh,
Inazuma
the
like
teapot.
teapot
Oh,
theme.
nice.
It was actually fun. I mean, it was kind of stressful, but it's actually really fun because I
Congratulations.
completely forgot about the gadget that tracks like nearby treasure chests.
Right.
And I was like, that was like a godsend because I could just plop myself down in like a region that I haven't 100% yet and just like pick a spot and it just tells me go this way.
That's what
I
it's
really
there
like that.
for. Yeah.
I know, because I haven't used that a lot. I mean, Sumeru, I'm pretty sure, I'm actually guaranteed Sumeru has one, but I didn't unlock it yet.
Right.
I know there's a Dendroculus one, but the ones that just track like nearby chests, oh, that's so useful. And the one that got me to rank 40 was like one of the last Shrine of the Depths, because I had 2 keys from like Inazuma that I didn't even use yet because I didn't find all the shrines. So the last key that I got unlocked the last chest that gave me 10 sigils and let me rank up.
Nice.
And finally, I went in, I took some screenshots. I might post it in the Discord too, but I took some screenshots of like just the empty layout. Man, that place is like the best teapot scenery ever.
Well, you had to work really hard for it. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, I've been trying to like, dabble a little bit, try to build some stuff in the new area, just make that my new main location. But I mean, it took me a really long time to build my other teapot layouts, so this one I might work on it slowly but surely. But I really wanted to make like a nice onsen place in like the Japanese theme park area.
Right.
Because that sunset is cool. It's like a hyper stylized, like artistic.
I'm gonna go visit your teapot.
Yeah, we should do that later on. Maybe next live stream or live stream after that. Good theme. We could just have like, we can actually build a in-game podcast set. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, why not?
Other than that, completed my battle pass, which is awesome. I think that was last week.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it.
Might have been. Yeah, it's still fresh in my mind. I have 118 wishes saved up for Dea and her weapon. But yeah, that's pretty much my biggest accomplishment of this week. What about you, Josh? Anything big you've accomplished in the game?
Nice. I mean, no. I've just been like trying to catch up my NA account. I've actually been pretty much neglecting my main Asia account because I really want to catch up my Asia account, my America account to like the highest world level at least, so I can like join people, or people can join me, and I mean, so I can join people specifically, but that way, like when I farm with other people, they don't have to take like lower rewards or like not take the rewards. So I really want to be able to play. We've been playing when I've been streaming. We've had co-op, like we've been doing a lot of co-op. So I've been getting help with dungeons and treasure chests, and like on my newer account, and other people in the community have started playing like co-op with each other. So we actually ended up making a co-op community. It's called Co-op Commissions channel in the Discord. And people are posting like, hey, I need help with this, and hey, I need help with this, and or hey, does anyone want to do this? And people are joining each other, and it's really cool. So really, really excited that after the last podcast episode dropped, like we gained a lot more people in the Discord. So hopefully the community,
I've been seeing a lot. Yes.
Yeah, it's just growing and growing, and so that way we have more people to, lean on for advice, more people to do co-op help with other people. We have a bunch of people in the Discord that are just really willing to help people out. So thank you to everyone who is offering help to everybody else. We have people in EU, a lot of people in EU and America servers. So if you are those two, guaranteed there's someone. If you're an Asia server, I'll help you out myself personally because my main account is Asia. But for now, I will be going back to my main account to do the story so that I don't get any spoilers. But yeah, well, I've been having a lot of fun just kind of relearning the game in a way that's like, how can I make myself get to the power level I'm used to as soon as possible? But the key is artifacts, honestly. Like once you get to 45, like just being able to have just being able to have all 5-star artifacts is like a huge difference in just pure stats. So yeah, farming is terrible. Like sometimes, we were talking about this on stream. Like I understand why they have resin, like I understand why they have that, but I really wish they just had like a thing you could either buy or something that you get like once a month or something that is like an unlimited resin like thing for like 2 hours. Like just for 2 hours you can just like farm like unlimited or something like that. Like I wish we had something like that to catch me up.
That's one solution.
Yeah.
The root of the issue is also still just not being able to get what you want, or like having a more direct route to get it, because if everything's like RNG based, like you can have like 2 hours of like free resin and still get nothing, because some people actually like save up their condensed resins and like their
The
like
fragile
moons
resins.
and stuff,
Yeah.
and they still don't get the thing that they want. And then we had that artifact re-rolling, which was awesome because they could switch it to another one, because
Yeah.
maybe they didn't
Well,
like the other second set.
that's for like optimal, like finding the exact stat you want kind of thing. I just want more stuff. like things like I don't have
Yeah.
anything, right? So like I need resources. I need talent books, I need XP books, I need Mora, I need to be honest though, like having some of these characters now helps me with Mora. Like I have Scaramouche, right? And like he like halves the cost of like books and I think swords. So, you know, stuff like that like helps with Mora output, but at the same time the bosses, like all this stuff that just takes up so much resin, it makes it really hard to catch up. It makes it take an insanely long amount of time to catch up. Even if I spent money, I think there's a cap, so like I couldn't even catch up if I wanted to. That's why I wish there was like an unlimited resin thing, just so I could get something. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we had an episode about this a while back when they had that developer interview.
Yeah.
And they were talking about having multiple pathways to get like these talent books, and to get like meaningful like materials, and that I'm actually appreciative of, because it really doesn't feel that great to keep running the same domain over and over again.
It's true.
For a specific kind of award. And a lot of the events in the past, because they go back to Mondstadt, they go back to Liyue, they go back to like Inazuma, and they give you the talent books from that region for your characters that you may have left behind. I actually got enough to like level up some talents without even going into their specific domains. So slowly, it is slow, but they are giving you those pathways.
Yeah, I'm just like as a new account,
more
like everybody needs work. Like it's not like where you're just like, oh, the characters I don't really like go out of my way to level, I can slowly level them because I get the materials. It's like none of my characters are leveled, and I need to spend so much resin to get them to a place of just not dying. Like the world level jump like in difficulty is real. Like I have my main account where I'm like, I have all the characters, I'm AR60, I know how the game works, but when I'm playing through it again, I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I so weak? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't have any good, I have Wanderer, but I remember at this point having like Hu Tao and like other characters, and like it was a lot easier back then. But I don't know if it's because of my character pool or if it's because of like maybe did I neglect my resources for so long that I suddenly had enough resources to just level people up? I don't remember what happened. All I know is that right now, even though I know what to do, I feel like I don't have enough resin to do any of it, so it feels like it's going to take me forever, like just to get to a point where I'm happy not dying like in the game, because it's hard. The game's hard right now for me. So that's why I need help, and all the help helps, because then I can get the boss materials faster, and then I can level up faster. So having friends really helps, is what I can gather from new players. Like when you're learning, of course, there's the problem of not knowing what to do. But then there's also, once you do know what to do, just getting there is like time consuming and or difficult if you don't have the right stuff. So I just experienced that lately. So that's what my past couple weeks has been like, is like leveling up this NA account and being like, man, this game is pretty hard if you don't know what to do. So that's where I've been. But I would love to see some solutions in the future to alleviate some of that kind of realization that like it's going to take you a really long time to level up even one character because of the resin cap and how resin works. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they could add more resources to like story and side quests too, you know what I mean? So like actually playing the game gets me stuff. That'd be nice too. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that's kind of been my week, playing co-op, leveling up my NA account. I've been trying to farm for Dea as much as possible, but like I said, my account level is pretty low, so I mean it's at 42 now, so it's getting there, but the real grind doesn't really start till 45, right? And I got to do all the story quests. So that's my week. Yeah. So moving on to Genshin news. We don't have that much news, but I did want to like stop and talk about the things that we do have. So first of all is Kokomi's birthday, which was on February 21st. Yay, happy birthday, Kokomi. Kahi, you have Kokomi?
Yes, I do. And she's only at like level 70 because she's just, her main role is a healer. I don't need her to be like the damage dealer because she's not going to be out on the field more than my actual damage dealer. She's on the team with Ayaka, Kazuha, as well as Kuki. So I have double healers anyways, so, and better damage dealers on the outside. I'm probably going to only have her like when I cast like Ayaka's burst just to keep her frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then
valid way to use it.
She just needs an applicator. Yeah, she's good. I know there's like Kokomi mains out there.
Yeah.
That just use her and only her. And that's still valid. That's still totally fine. She actually does really good damage. Yes. With HP scaling and all that. You know, HP like Hydra damage bonuses, and she has good weapons, weapon selection too. I mean, yeah, she's fine. But on the team that she's on right now, Ayaka's kind of like the major damage dealer. She has like 5-star weapon, like crit damage artifacts, and she's cryo. She's like 50% crit rate, 200% crit damage. I think that's more than enough reason to have her out on the field more often.
Yeah, I mean damage and healing everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so that's Kokomi. Well, I mean, happy birthday to her, right? And then the other thing, one thing that we have got this week, we've gotten two things. The first thing is the little story teaser for Dia, right? So, Kahi, what did you think about that video, huh?
So, Dia is, she is great. She has a heart of gold. She is, you know, very in tune with the sun. She's a bright sunshine to everyone around her. Or the ray of sunshine to everyone who's looking for something in the darkness. But she actually is a really great character. Yeah, she's great.
No, I know you.
Awesome.
You're dramatic.
Of course. Dia, she's been known to do this, even though she likes to hide it. She's like, I don't think she plays it off as, oh, it's just a job. She actually genuinely does things to be a good person because, you know, grew up in the desert. Everyone's kind of like not so great in the desert because it's a desert.
Valid.
She's like always trying to find ways to like get people, you know, the help they need, even if she has to kind of take some alternative routes around the law to do it. You know, perfect, you know, do-gooder, outlaw, vigilante kind of style. But is like, she has a very interesting take on money. She doesn't really need it. She just, everything she has, she just put towards the orphanage. That was pretty cool because she did the same thing during her story. She just sold her sword for like treatment for Dunyazad,
right? And
just thought nothing of it. I'm just wondering if that sword that she sold, I told you my theory a long time ago, right? About the sword.
That's gonna come back.
I hope she sold it to Dory.
Oh, this theory. This theory. Okay, all right. Moving on. I'm just kidding.
I know. It's at the same time though, but like I wonder who she's gonna interconnect with.
I mean, I was thinking, well, what happens if her sword comes back in this story? Like, what if that's the sword?
Yes, she has a sword.
Like, what if that's the sword?
That would be nice.
Like her main sword or whatever.
Yeah, because I think she's the only one where her weapon is mentioned or referenced at all. Like Sino, you don't hear about his weapon. You don't hear about Nilu's weapon. You don't hear about anyone's weapon.
They also don't fit them aesthetically, but yeah. I don't feel like Nilu's weapon fits her aesthetically, but okay.
No, like she shouldn't be talked about with having a weapon. She's a dancer, but
that's right.
She has one, even though it's a 5-star. But it seems like
that's not her thing.
Does fit in a story? Yeah, it's her thing. But yeah, it's good to get a little bit of background. Seeing what she goes through, just get a little bit of overview of her personality. I liked it. A lot of good like animated wallpaper potential in this, just like the web event.
I love it.
But what did you think? Any thoughts on Dia?
I mean, yeah, like you perfectly summed it up. Like it shows her character, how far she's willing to go to help other people. It shows that she's very selfless and she puts the needs of others above herself very often. And yeah, it was like kind of similar to like what you said it was in the story, where the you know, it just kind of emphasized that idea of who she was as a person. This little teaser trailer. So I mean, I think it's
it makes
great.
sense why she's a support role too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's great that she like is a mercenary, like that operates like in gray areas like that, because she's kind of more flexible to do whatever she needs to do. And so I'm really curious to see what her story is going to be about. I hope it's interesting. I think they kind of previewed it a little bit in the live stream, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I'm excited to see what she does. And so we had that little Daya video, and then we had the drip marketing come kind of early, I think, for Baizhu and Kaveh, right? So Kaveh, we know about Kaveh, right? Like, he's a Hytham's roommate. Like, I don't know, they have like a thing going on. Like, we don't really know their relationship exactly, but they are close, right? Like, and Al-Hytham is not close with many people.
I keep thinking he was Pyro. He looks Pyro, but he's Dendro.
I get that, because he's like red eyes and like blonde and like all this stuff, right?
Yeah, this outfit, red outfit.
Yeah, but
typically that's what it means. But yeah,
he's definitely one of the harder to guess his element by looking at him characters. So yeah, it is what it is. Like, I mean, just looking at Child, you wouldn't really think he's Hydra, you know what I mean? But yeah, so we have Kaveh coming out. We know a decent amount about him. We don't know much about him in terms of like his actual story, but we know like what he's like as a character at this point. But I mean, I am curious to see how he fleshed out his story. Do you have any like thoughts or like hopes for Kaveh in general?
I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't think they specified, but he might be a 4-star.
I think he is a 4-star, yeah, and because Dia is a 5-star.
Because Baizhu absolutely has to be a 5-star.
Sorry, Baizhu is a 5-star. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Baizhu and Kaveh. I mean, it makes sense why they have all these Dendro characters coming out in Sumeru. I just thought Baizhu, even though it has been a while since we saw Baizhu at all, just felt like bringing him up now felt early.
Okay, wait, I want to talk to you about that. Okay, wait, I want to talk about Baizhu. Okay. But first, for Kaveh,
gotcha.
Like
for Kaveh, like, yeah.
So I'm hoping that he has like a role that buffs Dendro or does something to buff Al-Hytham, because like, you know how Sarah and Raiden Shogun came out, and then like Sarah like directly boosts Raiden Shogun, and that there are like similar banners to this. Like Faruzan came out with Wanderer, and she directly boosts Enemo damage. I'm hoping that Kaveh boosts Dendro because he's coming out with Baizhu, but he needs to be they would want him to be a character that works well with Al-Hytham, because they're, you know, a pair in the story. So I think it would be really cool if we got like a Dendro buffer support character, but you know,
he could be a good support. I just feel like they really play into his background of being an architect. I mean, a designer and being
right,
artistic.
That's right.
So my thought was he might be able to make those Dendro roots, like how those Dendro Hilichurls do.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
It's something you can burn and have like a persistent burn in the area, because you've never been able to light an area on fire in a domain because there's no grass. But if he can make something that can, like, an area to burn, or like have the actual, like, he could be like apply an area that the Dendro reactions can happen in, even though he's not attacking. You could make like a field, kind of like Tainari, but like it could also burn.
It'd be interesting, like, you know how we have like geo constructs, like with the geo characters. It'd be cool if we had like Dendro
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, construct. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it would be a great twist if like this Dendro character could also make a geo construct.
What?
That would be it. I mean, that would be amazing, because it's technically just rocks. He could just build it.
Wow, yeah.
But I understand, like, it's another element.
Yeah,
so
we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But and also he's a 4-star supposedly. So yeah. So Baizhu. I want to talk about Baizhu for a second, because I looked up a bunch of stuff about Baizhu, in terms of lore. We don't know much, but Kahi, what do you know about Baizhu? Because I didn't know much before I looked it up. So what do you know about him? Like, just off the top of your head.
Well, he's skinny and frail. Looks over Chi-Chi. He is either the one that's helping sustain Chi-Chi or was responsible for like reanimating her. I could be wrong on this, but I mean, obviously he and Chi-Chi are like in the same pharmacy, and he's kind of like watching over her. So they're connected in a certain way, and it has something to do with how Chi-Chi is a zombie.
Okay.
The snake, what is it?
Changsheng. Yeah.
Changsheng, the tsundere snake.
Uh-huh.
I love that little character. He's just adorable.
Okay.
A little snake with an attitude just wrapped around his neck. I don't know if they explained how she talks or if she's related to Adepti in any way. Nope. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
And okay.
I mean, he's the doctor.
I know he's a doctor, but I don't think he has ties to Sumeru.
Not that we know of.
I don't think he does. No, but he also has a very, very similar appearance to Sucrose.
Yes,
which is weird.
That is an interesting note, but yes.
Okay. All right. So what have you found out?
Okay, so I did a little research and went down a little Baiju rabbit hole, and okay, because this guy was in the game at like 1.0, right? Like he was in Liyue already, like in the main story. You just meet him, and
from the beginning.
And I think that, by the way, like when he becomes playable, this will be the longest like character reveal to playable character gap that we've ever had, like since the game was released like 2 years ago. And like we saw his character model in the game, and then 2 years later, like he's now a playable character. I think this is the longest gap we've ever had or something like that. Like Scaramouche was the longest one before that, because we saw him 1.1 and then he just became playable like 6 months ago, so, or something like that. But anyway, so I looked down at the Baiju lore stuff, and there's not much proven lore. One thing is that he is studying, I'm pretty sure what I'm about to say, this part is like the confirmed lore, is that he is studying everlasting life. He has a really frail body that is like, they don't explain like how, but even Chi-Chi says that her body is more stable, or like, you know, her body is in better condition than his body is, which is kind of weird to look if you think about it, if you look at them, right? Because it doesn't seem that way.
Isn't that what Albedo's doing?
No, Albedo is looking for the secret of this world. The Ryan daughter, Albedo's like created alchemist person. Basically the mage person, I think they're tied to Alice. Like she said, Albedo, go out and find the truth of this world, which is probably most likely going to tie into the whole skies of Teyvat are fake, etc. Like this whole thing.
Because his stuff, he incorporates life, right? He like knows how to extend life or something.
He likes to create things, yeah, but he has a geo-vision for that. But like, but Baiju's thing is looking for like literally like the fountain of youth, basically. Like he wants to live forever. And there is like, so he found Chi-Chi. I don't think he had anything to do with Chi-Chi being the way she is, but because Chi-Chi is a zombie, it's very important for him to learn about her status, because it might have to do with everlasting life. By the way,
so he's researching.
Changsheng means everlasting life in Chinese. Like her name just means it, like eternal life. That's funny. Yeah. So and we don't know how they met, how the snake and him met, like what actual connection they have to each other, because the way the snake is like around him, it kind of implies that maybe the snake is helping his body somehow, because if he has a really weak body and frail body, why would he be like carrying a giant snake on it?
Well, here's the thing you got to keep in mind about that little snake. Okay, that little snake looks just like what is it called? Not the world serpent, but like the other serpents that they fought in Inazuma.
The flying serpents?
White snake. No, the white snake with red eyes. That's deeply related to like abyssal type creatures, or like things that they fought in the war a very, very long time ago, because that's what the serpents look like, the huge serpents. So Changsheng might be related to that, or them, in some way, because if he's researching eternal life, and Changsheng, this talking snake who has apparently no background but is somehow like hanging out with this guy, might have something to do with it. So
so there's that.
Have a really interesting past too.
Right, so there's that theory. there is also, so now I'm gonna go into theories, okay? So there was a theory that when he was super early, that like people were talking about, or there was like a couple people in particular that were talking about him being the Dendro Archon, the past Dendro Archon, or related to the Dendro Archon somehow. But when we look back at it, we now know that that's not true. As far as like, we know who the Dendro Archon is, or who has been the Dendro Archon. So it's not that. But future Dendro Archon, we have no idea, but not likely. And I think that it was like kind of, if you look at it now, it's definitely I don't know, kind of a not that great connection to make, because it's like, oh my gosh, the only Dendro character we've ever met in the game for 2 years, he must be the Dendro Archon. Like, it just sounds like a very far-fetched idea.
Yeah, we're missing a whole continent,
Yeah.
So we're lacking a lot of info.
The element wasn't even out yet, you know what I mean? So that was like a debunked, right, basically. And then there was another rumor that came out that some people said that he looks really similar to Ayato, but if we look at them together, they don't look that similar at all. It was just like a thing that people jumped at when it first came out.
It's just a hair thing,
Yeah.
right? That's about it.
Right. Well, speaking of that, the next level of that is now people are thinking that he looks kind of like
Sucrose?
no, the guy from the Harbingers, the smiley guy, like Pantalone, I think his name is.
Pantalone.
Pantalone, like, yeah. So
The banker.
Yeah, the banker. So like, Pantalone never opens his eyes throughout the whole thing, and it looks like Baiju does when he smiles. Their hair is very similar, but totally different color, and it just seems like, visually, yeah, sure, maybe they're very close, but it would make no sense in the way we can understand the story right now for them to actually be connected. But that is a theory that's floating around right now because we don't know anything about Pantalone. And then the most recent one I saw was about Baiju being his story was possibly connected to this thing that you can find in the chasm. Not the chasm, sorry. The chasm, but the chasm, not the underground part, like the above ground part. So in the above ground part of the chasm, there's like a side quest that like makes you find like 6 things like as part of a memorial. Do you remember that? Did you ever do that quest?
In the chasm?
Yeah, in the chasm, on
Ooh.
top of the chasm, there's a little like gravesite memorial thing, and it says like to make an offering, you need to find like 6 of these like broken things. And
It sounds familiar.
yeah, so maybe you did it, maybe you started. I started it, but I never finished it because you have to like actually find these things. Like it's not like a go here to this thing. Like it's like a randomly find them thing. And this tells a story of a Millilith member who was like, I don't remember what it was exactly. Like he got like trapped there or something happened during the war, and he basically lost the ability to walk, and his body became really frail, and he survived, but like all of his other people around him, like that he tried to save, like a lot of people died, and so because like he was feeling so sad about everything and what was happening and that there was no point in living, but then like Zhongli himself stopped him, like this guy, and basically told him to live. And then there's like this whole theory about like how this guy's story may or may not be exactly Baiju, because there's even one NPC that says that this guy that the memorial's after like went on to become like a really well-known doctor, and Baiju is like the most famous doctor in all of Liyue. It's like another NPC says.
It sounds very close. Yeah.
And then so there's one thing that like some people say like could possibly debunk this theory, which is like the first time you meet Baiju is like Zhongli is actually with you, and he goes, oh, who's that? Oh, nice to meet you. Like he's like, oh, I don't know who this person is, but that could just be Zhongli like playing it cool again and just pretending.
Because he's known to do that.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Him and Venti just did that.
They do that, and then also like the fact that Baiju is a well-known doctor, you would think that Zhongli would know him already. Actually, like it's kind of weird that Zhongli wouldn't know the most famous doctor in all of Liyue, considering all Zhongli does is walk around Liyue. So anyway, that was like a interesting fan thing I saw, which like I didn't know anything about Baiju, but now I'm like looking out for more things that could tell us more about him. Obviously we'll know more when his story quest comes out, but I'm really looking forward to like what ties he has to like what his story is, what ties he has to Liyue, maybe if any to the archons, um, and then Changsheng and like what that whole thing is about. Because I was also looking at this thing that was like talking about how Fischl got her vision, and like Oz came from Fischl, and like it's possible to have like another consciousness that comes from your ambition when you get a vision. So like Oz appeared. Oz can talk, and Oz is his own person. It's not just like a hallucination. Other people talk to Oz too. So like Changsheng like a manifestation of his ambition? Like is Changsheng his Oz? You know what I mean?
That's a good theory actually, because Oz does carry this like dark tone to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like this darkness theme, Changsheng, you know, like pointing out like, you know, serpent, red eyes, looks like the other world serpents that apparently come from the abyss, or just are just general bad creatures. Maybe, yeah, that's sure. Maybe she has a goal, maybe he has a goal, and they're interconnected, and somehow she's just kind of guiding him along. She's like literally wrapped around his neck. I think it's kind of poetic in a way, that she's like wrapped around his neck, and he's just like, he's fine with it. That could also be like a denote something.
Right.
I'm probably reading too much into it, but aesthetically, the way that his character is designed and presented, he's like, other than like Oz, like we have what, Zhangling has Guoba.
Yeah, but we know Guoba's origin.
Fischl has Oz, yes.
Yeah.
And then, but there's characters that their companion is kind of part of their, you know, their whole kit, part of their whole story, part of like just what makes them
is
them.
there anybody else like Fischl who has a companion that can also talk? That is like part of their vision? I feel like there isn't.
No, Yai Miko has like the fox spirits, but they don't talk.
Also, she's a fox spirit, so that checks out.
Oh yeah, she kind of is. So
yeah, so I think that's it. I don't think there's like you know, we have Yao Yao and Yuegi and stuff, but like there was like some kind of story about that already. I think they tell you in like her story.
Isn't Yugui like a toy?
Yeah, something like that. It's not like real. So there's no questions there, basically. So yeah, we have this like really interesting, unique thing that Fischl has that's very possible that Baizhu has something similar, right? So I read about that, and I just wanted to share with you and everybody, because Baizhu is really mysterious, and he's kind of one of those characters that is just coming out despite us knowing almost nothing about them. Like we knew he was gonna come out, and it's been a while since he was in the game, but you know, in the story right now, nothing has happened that we know that is like tying Baizhu to coming out soon. It's not like Dea, who like we went through the entire story with her, or Alhaitham or Sino. You know, it's like just like all of a sudden Baizhu comes out. Like, so interesting. So we'll see.
You know, ever since Kuki came out, I think Kuki was the first character that sacrifices health to heal the group, for a lot, which is great.
Right.
So Baizhu might be doing the same thing, because we have Dea, who also does damage mitigation by taking the damage herself. So like they're on like a steady, like really slow like release of like different support characters that can heal or do damage mitigation other than just a straight up shield. So Baizhu is most likely going to be healing people by taking damage, or like sacrificing health in order to like either do big damage or heal. I mean, Hu Tao technically doesn't count, she only heals herself.
Right.
But yeah, as far as like a support healer that hurts themselves, it would match because of what we know now.
Yeah.
I just hope he uses the snake somehow. Like his attacks just like send
dude, he has to
bite from a distance.
Yeah, he has to.
That'd be great.
I kind
of want to see that.
I really don't see them not doing that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not really planning on pulling for Baizhu, I gotta be honest, nor Kave, because I have so many characters, and I already have like there's 10 team slots. All 10 team slots are filled, and there's still more teams I want to build. I think I'm good. I'm just gonna keep saving for that just one really special one.
I mean, I'm rolling for both
even
of them.
Faruzan, just to have him.
Yep.
But I've been wanting to like level up Faruzan, but just not right now because everything else is coming out, and I still have other people to play around with. And I keep seeing like Faruzan buffs animal so well, especially like Zhao, especially.
Wait, so you don't have Faruzan?
No, I do, but like she's like level 40.
Ah, I see.
But I just because she uses the same materials that Dea is going to be using, so I can't level her at all.
Oh, the robot, right?
Yeah, the robot thing. So I'm like, I'm not gonna level you
Ah,
right
wow.
now.
Well,
I'm gonna save her for later.
She's really good though, I'll tell you.
She's on the back burner. Yes, she's fun.
So yeah. So those are the thoughts on the news. Like, it's like a longer segment, but I think like that even though we didn't get a lot of news, we got kind of a lot of news in a way. Like, Baiju is a really big deal, I think, and we got a little sneak peek of Dia and a little bit about Kave as well. So. Okay, so let's move on to our next topic, which for today is the just interview thoughts of me. Earlier this morning, I interviewed Teyvat Historia, a YouTuber who makes lore videos on Genshin, and talked to him a little bit. He's a really, really cool guy. So you know what's funny, Kahi? He actually started on Genshin like from the manga, and I didn't know this, but apparently this is in a developer interview, but the manga was what Genshin started as. And then they made the idea for the game to keep going from the manga. Isn't that?
Well, because even the game came from an idea from one of the really, really earlier games. I think it was with Kiana.
Yeah, well, all of the Hoyoverse games have Kiana. Yeah. So all
yeah, because that's the root character.
Yeah, but like, it sounded like that they didn't even plan to make Genshin like the main thing. They were gonna make the manga the main thing, and then they like really liked the manga, and then they just ended up making it a game. Is what it sounded like. So anyway, I didn't know that. So Teyvat Historia, like, he got into the manga, started making a YouTube channel about it, and then he like became he actually got invited to do the beta for the game for Genshin before it came out, because he was making YouTube videos about the manga. So
wow, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, so like I thought it was a super cool journey to getting into Genshin, because most people start just from the game. And so we talked about Lantern Rite, we talked about 3.5, we talked about possibility of things in 3.6. We talked a little bit about what we just talked about Baiju. We talked about different, I don't know, we just talked about different things. we talked about let's see. Oh, we talked a lot about Dainsleif, because Teyvat Historia has a theory about, now get ready for this. I don't know if you saw his video on this, but I should send it to you later. Teyvat Historia has a theory about Irminsul and Dainsleif. So, have you heard any theories about why Dainsleif might be called the Bow Keeper? I mean, why he is called the Bow Keeper?
Bow Keeper sounds like something related to like gardening.
Something related to what?
Or like plants. It sounds like something related to like botany or
yeah. So a bow is like a branch.
Yeah.
Right. So and Irminsul has branches, right?
Right. Because the branches signify like a timeline. No, not a timeline.
So
an event, like a big event.
So think about this. When we erased Rukkhadevata from the tree to heal the tree, we had to take her branch off of the tree.
That's what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is Teyvat Historia's theory. If you can take a branch off of a tree, then couldn't you put a branch onto the tree and rewrite the world?
Yeah, grafting's a thing in plant gardening, because you can actually stick a branch into a broken branch and it will still, it will grow and graft together.
So take that idea with the thing where I mean I know that, but take that idea and consider it into Genshin, into where the ideas, like the branch that you have, has memories that you want everyone to think are real and to think happen. So you are effectively, instead of deleting something from Teyvat's history, you're creating and making up something that didn't actually happen, but the world thinks it happened. And if Dainsleif is the bow keeper, whose bow is he keeping? What is he protecting? Is he protecting the bow that he put on the tree? Or is he defending a bow from being taken off the tree? And when you consider his words in the story trailer at the beginning, where he says, like, fight me and show me that you are more worthy than me to save her. Like, there's this whole thing about, like, who is Dainsleif really? and what, like, his title that they gave us, what does that really mean? Because we haven't figured that out yet. And now that we know more about Irminsul and we can connect that Bowkeeper has a meaning with the tree, what is he doing? And why does our sibling hate him, right?
So here's why I think that theory holds water. A lot of the marketing, a lot of the pictures we see, like of like the twins, right, the brother and the sister, they're in the same place, just in a different location, maybe slightly different time. So the branch we exist on is on the same tree, and she's on a different branch, and he's helped keeping and maintaining that branch. So it's possible for the two to exist in the same space, because we met our sibling once already with Dainsleif in that one underground area with the upside down, statue of the Seven. So it's possible. So for that to be possible, they have to exist within somehow the same reality or same universe, but just in a different phase or a different, what do I call it? A different instance. So branches of the same tree will kind of allude to that. Like she's in a different branch, we're in a different branch. Like that, universe 1, we're in universe 2, but they come from the same root, which is funny because like there's in programming language, there's like a phrase called the root. That's there's programming language kind of like subtly like mixed into all of this kind of stuff, especially now that we know when we saw Nahida, a lot of her abilities look like computer style, like selections and like very geometrical, and there's literally a mouse cursor on a charge attack.
Her auto attack is literally her stepping on a keyboard key.
Yeah. So like this whole thing this whole thing could be a simulation, but like I'm just saying it's very very plausible.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So it's similar to the theory I had, like, or I think a lot of people are coming up with a very similar theory that she's playing the game like 500 years in the past, and that's a branch of this world, and we're in the branch that's on this side, on this end of
honestly, it could be the thing. Like, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. These guys really know how to make a really good like intersecting story or multiple storylines. They do like branches of stories really, really well. You know what? The last thing I'm going to bring up is because it's very, very funny how like it's very similar to I'm going to bring it up again. So in Destiny 2,
all right,
there's a thing
moving
called
on.
Like, the Gardener.
Just kidding.
No. Really, really quick. There's a thing called the Gardener and the Winnower. That's like how our universe began, as like a game of light and dark, life and death. But one of them decided to like change up a rule in the game and started to like send it off into like a really like weird branch of like time and reality that ended up giving the same kind of powers they had to the humans, which is us. And then there's this guy that just came up, the new villain is called the Witness, because this Witness actually saw them, the two like creators of like everything, and he's like just able to like exist everywhere. That could kind of be like Dainsleif, because if he can cross branches, it's very similar. And so it's familiar to me because I know the lore of my game and this game, and I can see like, oh yeah, that the path that they're going down this way is very similar to how they're going in this way. So I like these guys who know other stories too, because every story has like inspiration, and we kind of found some of the root inspirations earlier, like with the Gnosticism thing, and Irminsul being like a tree of creation, which is like Yggdrasil, and a lot of other lore from all kinds of other cultures. But it's fun to speculate because it's everything that we find just adds to the plausibility of everything we're thinking of.
Yeah.
So it's just fun thought experiments.
Yeah, I mean, we never know what they're actually doing, right? So, yeah, it'll be be really interesting to see how this story resolves. But, speaking of Dainsleif, like the next patch, we're gonna have our next Dainsleif quest. And last time we saw him was when, that old knight of Conria sacrificed himself to shut down the machine that was causing the corruption. And Dainsleif just wanted to rest a little bit, and he said, "I'll come back later, and we'll fight the Abyss Order together." And so now we're continuing, and we see Kaya, and Kaya There's so much stuff about Kaya, so I'm gonna do my best this next couple days to learn all of the lore I can about Kaya, because there's not a lot, but there is really significant stuff that maybe we should know before this quest, because I think that a lot of this stuff is going to be revealed. So it'll be really interesting to know what the theories are before going into this next story quest, because it's really exciting. I'm gonna like start using Kaya like a lot and stuff now, but
he's kind of tricky though, because he's a joker. He's like, he can sometimes play things off as like, he brings up something, it could be true, could not be true, so he's kind of misleading in a certain way.
Yeah,
so
but he has like a
like,
character story. He has like how he got his vision, like all this stuff, like all that information that is out there. Like also even in the manga, there's stuff to his backstory. Like I touched a little bit on it in the podcast with Teyvat Historia, because he knows that lore really well, and because it was in the manga too. And so knowing that makes Kaya like seem really suspicious. Oh, there's another one I want to share with you. Ready? I really like one of my favorite parts about talking with Teyvat Historia today was that he his favorite character is Mona, because Mona can see through like people's intent, right? Like ever since like she saw that Scaramouche was like, you know, the bad guy basically, even though he was pretending he wasn't, she was able to sense that, and she can see, you know, she can divinate like people's kind of fate. And like I guess she can read a little bit of the whatever makes the world, right? And she has her About Kaya little voice line that you can go look at. Okay, are you ready? It says, Kaya Alberic, he's destined for greatness and grandeur, and to hide ugly realities behind a layer of charm and elegance. He believes that he has made a clean break with his past, but one day, fate will catch up with him. When it does, he will have a major decision to make. So there is theory that there's theory that Kaya is sort of supposed to be like a double agent for Kai and Rhea living in Mondstadt. But Kaya has also shown his allegiance to Mondstadt. So one of the theories that like Teyvat Historia was talking about was that this big decision that he has to make once his past catches up to him, what if this decision is whether he stands with Mondstadt or whether he stands with Kai and Rhea? And so this conversation might become more apparent, or we might even see the answer to this during this next quest, because Dainsleif and Kai and Rhea are connected, and if Kaya is actually connected to Kai and Rhea, then we will see something there. Super interesting.
Yeah,
right?
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're bringing Mondstadt into the forefront too with this next patch. I mean, if Mondstadt is more than just a place that this next patch takes place in, and Kaya's going to be brought into the same kind of story as Kai and Rhea is. I mean, the last time we went to what's that place? In Economia, but yeah. Last time we went there, I don't think Kaya showed up, right?
No, he didn't.
Okay, so either that place wasn't significant enough to warrant his attention, or like he didn't sneak into it. But if Dainsleif is back again now, and he's like in our world, around here, getting close to that decision making, then yeah, hold on. If he's gonna be in the Mondstadt story and a Kai and Rhea story, it makes sense that there is going to be like a split loyalty or like a decision to make, whether like it's our side or their side. So yeah, it makes sense. I totally believe that.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping that we find out something about Kaya during this next thing, because we know so little about him actually. So yeah, so like we talked about that during the podcast. If you want to hear it, for those of you that weren't there and that weren't able to hear it, I believe it'll be put up on YouTube soon, but the VOD is also on Twitch, the video. So I will post a link in the description just in case. But you can also check it on the Discord. I believe it's posted there as well. But anyway, so that is what I talked about this morning with Teyvat Historia. Very, very fun interview, and you know, I've definitely enjoyed my time there. So that's the end of that segment. Now I would like to move on to the Who's Voice Line segment. Welcome to Who's Voice Line, the segment where I will be sharing some voice lines from the different official voiceover dubs found in the game. I want to do this segment because I love voice acting, the voice artists. I feel like this is a great chance to give some recognition for all the work that they do. And this is the format. So I will share 3 voice lines from one character in each of the 4 languages: English, Japanese, Korean, and Chinese in that order. Then I'll give you some time to think. Feel free to pause the podcast if you want some time. And then I'll have Kahi guess. After that, I'll reveal the answer. Okay. So, you ready to guess, Kahi?
Ready when you are.
Okay, here we go.
This weather is perfect for doing nothing at all. I'll be taking some time for myself now. Goodbye. There are many things in this world that may catch our eye, but don't always believe what you see. If what we see in the world were all there was to it, then there'd be no need to think, would there?
Okay, I'll give you some time to think about it. Alright, who do you think it is?
Kaya?
Good guess. Is that your final answer?
He's speaking very quick, terse, and like to the point. Doesn't really like. It doesn't have like heavy breath at the end of it. It's not like exuding any more effort than needed to be. He's just speaking very plainly and straightforward, but has like intent behind it. Can you play the last one more time?
Sure.
There are many things in this world that may catch our eye, but don't always believe what you see. If what we see in the world were all there was to it, then there'd be no need to think, would there?
I gotta say Kaya.
Okay.
Because I know like if it's this kind of line, it would make sense why he would kind of break his usual character or his usual mood. And that kind of like alludes like his whole like background history as well. I'm gonna say Kaya just because he's still fresh in my mind from the discussion.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay, the answer is I'll hide them.
Oh wait, that's his English voice. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. No, that makes sense because he doesn't really like to show like emotional variation when he talks. Okay.
It was a good guess. I think it was a good guess though.
He's a scholar. Yeah, they kind of have a similar demeanor.
Scholarly voice.
But yeah, it's very rare that they break character when they're just having regular voice lines.
Right. Okay. Ready for the next one?
Yep.
Okay, the next one's gonna be Japanese. Okay.
これほど天気のいい日には何もしないに限る。ここからはプライベートな時間だ。それでは。この世には人の目を引くものが数多くある。だが、自分の目を過度に信じるべきじゃない。見えるものが真実だというのなら、人は考える必要すらなくなるはずだからな。
I'll give you a second to think about it. And who is it?
Sounds like Zhongli, but he's speaking a little bit too fast for Zhongli. Zhongli normally takes his time because he's like a patient guy.
It's true.
Lives for thousands of years. It could also be Diluc because he's like trying to get to the point really quick because he has to get to another mission or something because he's Batman.
Batman.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna stick with Diluc.
Okay.
Sounds deeper voice, serious. Yeah, Diluc.
All right, final answer. Diluc.
Yep.
Okay, the answer is I'll hide them.
What? Wait, you can't do that.
There's no rules about this.
Okay,
What I wanted to specifically highlight here is that he sounds very different in English and Japanese. And I think part of the reason for that is that, I don't know if you know this, but like his original voice actor, who is Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy, in Japanese, had like a thing happen, like a celebrity scandal-esque thing, and so it seems like they switched his voice actor.
I think I remember hearing that.
Yeah. So his English voice is closer to probably what they wanted the Japanese voice to sound like, but because they had to change it, it's like a totally different voice actor. So they just so he has like a way deeper voice in Japanese than in his other dubs. So that's what I wanted to specifically throw you off with that, because like you know, it is interesting to hear them side by side because they sound like different people. But
it sounds better with a deeper voice.
So I think he sounds. I think
he's not a teen.
He sounds good with a deep voice, but I really wanted to hear the voice that they had in mind for him, because I kind of think they made this character around that. I think he is a little similar to Zhongli, like his deepness, like yeah. But you know, they make it work. I don't know. They might have even changed his character slightly to make it more to like the way he delivers his lines to make him feel more like with the deeper voice in Japanese. But I don't know. But
well, it makes sense. I mean, because to me, I didn't really notice. Like, I probably wouldn't have felt more of an impact from a higher pitch voice, because when you look at Al Hytham, he's like very stoic. He's very like straight face. He's very like methodical. He's smart, but also he has a tone of laziness to him. So it wouldn't make sense for him to sound like bright and peppy and youthful and like energetic.
Right.
It doesn't match him. But like I like this deeper voice more than the other one.
I see. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so the next one is going to be Korean. Are you ready?
Yep.
유통을 위해 지은 배는 항구에 정박하지. 그러니 리월은 모든 재물이 모이는 곳이야. 너와 나와 계약으로 맺어진 법. 그럼 계약 범위 안의 일이라면 나와 상의할 수 있어. 거래의 규칙은 계약이고 준칙은 공평이지. 계약을 맺고 준수하는 자는 절대 잊어서는 안 돼. 공평함을 잃게 되면 계약은 기만의 근거가 되지.
I'll give you a second to think about it.
They all sound so similar. I feel like I said one already. I keep landing on the same thing.
I mean, that's I did a little bit on purpose, but
okay.
But it is discernible, I believe. So do your best.
I'm gonna stick with Zhongli because my previous reasonings, it holds true more to this one. So I'm gonna say Zhongli.
Zhongli, final answer?
Yeah.
And the answer is Zhongli. You're right.
Hey, there we go.
No,
see?
Your reasoning with
I just copy paste answers.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like the rhythm is slower, like more deliberate with his words, deep voice. Zhongli, I think if I didn't confuse you with that other thing, you would have been like Zhongli, period, because Zhongli's voice is so distinct. But yeah, the Al Hytham thing, yeah, it's there, it exists. So, all right, good one. So that's one for 3 right now, and then let's see if you can get 2 for 2 with this last one. It's gonna be Chinese, okay?
Alrighty.
停了就好。不然藏书会生霉的。你算是我的书友吧？什么？打架？古华派？战友？你都在说些什么呢？不是说好这是我们2人间的秘密吗？以前是兔子，后来是鹿。对我来说，请从绝处读我侠义是舍弃一切的觉悟，鹿却是绝处逢得新生的希望。 真想再见他一次啊
Give you a second to think about it. And who do you think it is?
I wanted to say Yalan, but Yalan is more like cunning and conniving. This one sounded like she was... The first voice line sounded like she was like discovering something. I was kind of like getting excited about it. I don't think Yalan would sound like that.
Nice deduction.
But this is definitely an older character, because there's like, you know, a little bit of a deeper tone to it, not just, you know, sharp and like peppy and perky or whatever.
Your thinking is interesting.
Okay, I want to say this might be... Who talks faster? Because the other characters I'm thinking...
Let me give you one more.
One? Okay, yeah, one more.
唉，重云这家伙，虽然也知道我的底细，但真要和他搭档去完成任务，还得审慎。他现在还是执着武技，却不理解侠心的境界，需要多练练。 尤其是吃辣的方面。
Did that help?
What in the world? Wait a second. Oh, this is tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I see the wheels turning.
That very short laugh.
Yep.
The giggle.
The wheels turning.
Dang it! This might actually be Yelan. Because she does laugh a little bit, but not like a ha 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 laugh, not like a bellowing laugh like Beto, not like a.
I'm gonna give you a hint, Kahi. One of the things that you've told me so far is completely wrong. It's the opposite.
Well, Yelan. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm going with.
Final answer?
Yep.
Okay, so let me just mention what I was talking about, which is it is not an older character.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so who do you think with that knowledge in mind?
Farazan?
Nope. Okay, I'll give you another. I'll just keep giving you hints till you get it. Okay.
Okay.
It is the medium like size like model, I guess. It is someone that was in the Leo event in the Lantern Rite.
Yunjin?
Nope.
It's not Yunjin. What? What the heck is this?
It's someone with the Hydro Vision.
Oh, is this Xing Chong?
Yes.
What the heck?
I mean, it's a girl. It's a girl's
Okay.
voice, like in Chinese. Like, I mean, you can't really.
Yeah, that's why I can hear it.
But that you gotta.
So I'm not wrong.
Yeah, you gotta remember.
It's just,
you know,
they're used differently.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
that was good. That's
Okay.
hard. Like, that is like, I didn't even mean to trick you. Like, that was just hard. Like, a Chinese girl voice is you just kind of. There's so many characters like it could be like, but I mean, it's Xing Cho. Like, actually, that last voice line said Chong Yun in like the first line, but it was kind of hard to hear it. But yeah, the little laugh actually, to me, sounded like it could be more of a hint toward like being a not so feminine character. Like, it wasn't like a like upwards. It was kind of like a haha, like similar to Venti, who's also a female voice in Chinese. But you know, like, I don't know. It just like, maybe you could get it, but I knew it was hard. Like, it's the Chinese one's always gonna be the hardest when it's like a girl, I think. So, but you've gotten them in the past, so I was wondering if you were gonna like pull through with some logic, but the logic you gave was like the one character who is younger, who like talks really mature. It's like not an older character. Like,
You know what I just realized?
what's that?
Why they do this across like different cultures and different languages too, is because a younger male voice, if you use a younger male, their voice when they go through puberty does change much more dramatically than the female voice.
Yeah, exactly.
I just realized that.
Yeah, dude, that's why
So it makes sense.
so many, even in Japan, right? Like, you know, Ash's voice is played by a girl, like from Pokemon. Even in English too, actually, just straight up played by a girl. You know, that kind of thing.
And like it now clicks. Like, wait, why would every language do the same thing? Wait a second, that's right. What happens?
That's
to
right. I used to
young
sound
voice?
like a little girl.
I used to sound like that.
Yeah, I mean, basically, like, you know. But yeah. Anyway.
Wow, that's actually really cool.
Yeah. So that was a tough one. That was one out of 4, but some really good logic in there and some really good guesses. Very close.
So I'm identifying the voice, but not the character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta remember this is the game about characters. Okay, so Kahi, thanks for playing, Kahi, and thanks for listening, listeners. Let us know how many you got right in the Discord, or comment, or tweet at us. But don't stop there, because from now Kahi is going to give us some riddles. So Kahi.
All right. I hope these aren't going to be too hard, and I hope they're not going to be too easy either.
They're going to be hard. I'm not
going to right away. Nah, I'm sure you'll get some. I'm trying not to use any kind of word that has a direct correlation to them, their personality, or what they do. I'm just trying to suggest of like very like broad descriptions, but things that only they would actually have, or what they would actually do with themselves.
Sounds hard.
So, in no particular order, there actually is an order, but let's see if you can find why I brought it up like this.
Okay.
So let's start.
Oh no, that's a
from-
hint.
There's 4 riddles.
Oh.
No, there is a certain kind of order, but
Okay.
like not one that you. It's easy, but I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
The first of 4 riddles. Riddle number 1. I'm older than I appear to be, whose past is shrouded in mystery. My miracles are science-based. My work should dare not be erased. Who am I?
These are playable characters, right?
Yes.
Wait. What's the line about science-based?
So, I'm older than I appear to be, whose past is shrouded in mystery. My miracles are science-based. My works should dare not be erased. Who am I?
My work dare not be erased. Oh, wait. Is it Farzan?
Final answer?
Yeah.
It is Albedo.
Albedo. I don't know why like my mind went to like Sucrose and Farzan only.
No, you're right, because older than I appear to be. A lot of characters have that feature, whose past is shrouded in mystery. A lot of the characters we've known so far, they kind of have a pretty clear past, but not like shrouded in mystery. They have like some that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Miracles are science-based, like, you know, the creation, the alchemy thing.
No, that's good. That's
and
good.
Works, yeah. The work should dare not be erased is his art.
Dang it.
Because he draws.
Dang it.
Should not be
No,
erased.
I like Albedo
Yeah.
too. I can't believe I didn't get that one.
Yeah, so that's not bad. You got like the first part right, and then it kind of got murky throughout the whole thing. Okay. Now this next one might be easier. My best friend is a god. My work doesn't really need my rod. My patrons always come back for more, even if their bellies are sore. Who am I?
Your rod? Shangling.
Yep. What was the first indication?
My best friend's a god.
Really? That was the one. Okay.
Yeah, because
Best
there was
friend's a
like
god.
I was like,
Guoba.
and then you said the cooking thing, and I was like, oh, and then like I mean the food thing, and then the rod thing. I was like, wait, what? And then it clicked like at once. I was like, oh, rod, food, best friend is god equals Shangling.
All right, so that one's a lot easier. But what about this third one? You got one so far.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, are you ready for the third riddle?
Yes.
All right. So, my books are not just records of war. They're fairy tales and so much more. They comfort me atop this royal abode and my secret cave where I rest alone. Who am I?
Secret cave.
This one requires a little bit of knowledge of the story that we experienced.
Secret cave where I rest alone on top of a royal abode.
One more time, because I feel like there's some words in here that once they click and connect together, they have a connection. So, my books are not just records of war. They're fairy tales and so much more. They comfort me atop this royal abode and my secret cave where I rest alone.
It's not Yaimiko, right?
Well, what do you think?
Damn it. Okay. Dang, I'm like torn between like saying Yaimiko, Xingqiu. I don't know. Books is like I'm like hung up on this like fairy tales thing. Rest alone. Cave? You rest alone? Like Nahida? I don't know.
Think of all the characters that have or mention books.
That have or mention.
Every single one of them and then you can narrow it down with a few of the other words, and it points directly at them.
Official.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Nope.
Damn it.
It is actually Kokomi.
No. That's
So
okay. The Books of
Kokomi-
War thing. I was like,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
that? What is Books
She
of
studies
War?
warfare. She studies like all kinds of things. Because of her royal abode, she is the princess of Watatsumi Island. And she has like her own little palace in that big seashell. And she does have her own little secret cave. That's why I said royal abode and my secret cave. So she has two things.
She has okay. See the secret cave thing. I like just vaguely remember like someone having a cave, but I'm like, who is it? Like, okay. All right, cool. All right, that was a good one. That was a really good one.
Yeah. Okay, now for the final one. I've traveled far but never left home. My heroic deeds would fill a tome. Women and children would sing my praise. My heart like the sun would set ablaze. Who am I?
Dia.
You got okay. I thought this was gonna be a twist or like a little bit of a curveball, but yeah, what gave it away?
You gave it away earlier in the podcast when you said that Dia is like a heart of sun or a gold, like she shines like
gold?
the sun. No, you said she shines like the sun or something. Like
Yeah.
I didn't think about Dia like that until you literally said that, like this podcast. So like, thank you for foreshadowing your own riddle.
Foreshadowing my own riddle.
Yeah, I would have been
Alright.
stumped if you didn't say that line. Like I would have been like,
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're welcome.
thank you. Now we're at 2, so yay.
2 out of 4. Yeah, 50-50.
Yay. So, thanks,
Alright.
Kahi. But Kahi, so I mentioned to you earlier that I do not have any riddles for you today. But I have a sort of surprise.
Classic misdirection.
Yes, the classic misdirection indeed. So I actually have received a fan riddle, someone from the community that has a riddle for me to give to you.
Ooh, all right.
So it's a community riddle.
This is a wonderful surprise. I
Yes.
love this.
So from Peachy Oranges. Okay, from Peachy on Genshin. I gave Paimon food to fill your hunger. When you hear my bells chime, you know that things will be better. I dislike vegetables, but not seafood. So that is why I always sneak onto the Alcor.
Who sneaks onto the Alcor? Okay, so whoever. Okay, there's only been a few people that have been onto the Alcor. It may have been Toma. It may have been Jinyan. I think Zhang Ling was invited aboard. Kazuha was a part of the crew. I'm inclined. Wait, Bell. Who's a Bell? Read it one more time.
Okay. I give Paimon food to fulfill your hunger. When you hear my bells chime, you know that things will be better. I dislike vegetables, but not seafood, so that is why I always sneak onto the Alcor.
Okay, so Bell has got to be like a really vivid, remarkable thing about this character, because it is a Bell. When you hear my bell, you know things will be better. So it's either healer class, support class. I know someone has a bell.
There's quite a few characters that have bells.
Oh, man. Give Paimon food. So I sneak aboard the Alcor. Wait, no, this can't be Yao Yao. Yao no, you never snuck aboard the Alcor. Oh, this is tricky because I'm like, I should know everyone who's been on that ship.
Yeah, you really should.
What in the world?
And there is someone
Okay,
who
Jinyan never had a bell.
causes other characters, like I guess I would just say a headache because this character sneaks onto the Alcor. like pretty regularly.
Oh, I'm getting caught up on the bell. I'm trying to find out who has a bell and also was on the Alcor. The heck? I have to look through the whole character archive for this. No, I'm not gonna let this go because I should know this.
You should know this.
Character archive.
Who are your potentials?
Oh my god, okay. I want to say Yao Yao because everything points to Yao Yao. But I don't remember her being above the Alcor, but I'm just going to say Yao Yao.
Final answer?
Yeah.
You're correct. It's Yao Yao.
Okay, see, that's the thing. I just didn't remember when she snuck aboard the
so
ship.
Yao Yao also
When did
likes
that
to
happen?
sneak on board the Alcor when it docks, which causes both Ganyu and Beidou a little headache in trying to handle her. She even knows how to use the puppy eyes technique to appeal to Beidou so that she can stay aboard longer. So, Yao Yao.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I was overthinking it, but I'm like, bells, okay, Yao Yao.
she has
is
giant
huge,
bells
food.
on her head.
I'm like, yeah, but like, when was she aboard the Alcor? I didn't read that part of her. Is that in her character story?
I think so, yeah.
description?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's gotta be because I didn't read all of it yet. I think she's not even leveled up. She's like level 60. Right
Oh
now.
man, she's like my main in my
Or no,
North America
70.
account. But yeah. So
I think
Yao
you're
Yao,
right, 70.
great, right? That's great to know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thank you,
That's a good
Peachy
one. Thank you,
Oranges.
Peachy.
Yeah, thank you, Peachy, for submitting your question. I mean your riddle. It was really fun. So maybe next time, if you guys have a riddle that you want me to give to Kahi, we'll look it over and just send it to me because I will be giving it to Kahi. So DM me or message me on Discord, and I'll look over it, and then we'll let you know if it makes it into the next episode or not. But anyway, so that is our riddle section. Thank you for playing. You know, if you got it right, let us know in the Discord, in the comments, or Twitter. And hope you enjoyed. So let's head to the last section, the last two sections, our last new quick section, and then our last section we always have, which is the community discussion question. And our question last week. Kahi, would you be able to share that for us?
So the question last week was, what is your favorite open world puzzle? There's a lot. There's some that are kind of repeats or copy paste, but there are some that are really big and very unique that span across an entire zone. And then of course there's one that just takes place in one little room. So yeah, what is your favorite open world puzzle? I think I'll read the ones from our Spotify comments.
What's yours?
And then am I? Oh yeah, just so I'll read the Spotify, you can read the Discord.
No,
but
what
begin
is
with ours.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I just like outlining. So my favorite open world puzzle was the one in Liyue where we had to go to I forgot what the forest name was, but there's like 3 mountains you had to go to, like aim a little light at one major mountain to have like a teleporter spawn to go up and go all the way up to the peak, and then you had like one really big chest I think 3 chests up there. Because that one is like just the grandeur of it, of like you're going across all these like places in like this lofty area where God's realm, and then you end at the literal highest point in the game, at least as of that point in time. And yeah, that just was a really great sense of accomplishment with actual great rewards, because it's viable. Like you can, if you're, especially early on, this was like in a 1.0, if you were there and you needed materials, those 3 chests got you a lot. They mean a lot more now, but like, or a lot more back then, but now it's just like, okay, I have a couple more books, but I have like 5 characters to level up. Back then, the concentration of rewards in that one spot was great. And just the presentation of it, and like the reward was not just like the physical rewards, but just like, hey, you ended up here, and you had like a little bit of lore. I think that was where the book Zhangli was writing about Guizhang. And I think that was, yeah, I took some early screenshots over there because that was around the time where I got Mona for the first time. So like I just planted it right over there and just took some pictures. Yep, I remember that very, very specifically. I just can't remember what the name of that mountain was.
Nice.
Oh, I see it right here. It was Juyun Karst, like it was around there.
Oh yeah, yep.
Qingyun Peak, Mount Hulao, that's what it was. Yeah, those 3 mountains in that area. Mount Alkang, Qingyun, Hulao. they all aimed at this one particular point and then just rode all the way up.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That is a great one. That's mine. So yeah, I guess I'll go into the Spotify comments. So
You're not gonna ask what mine is?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, go ahead. What's your favorite open world puzzle?
So my favorite open world puzzles, like puzzle type, I guess, is like the I always love these kind of games. It's like the ones in Sumeru that are like flower squares, and you have to make sure you go through all of the areas without going over the same
path.
Yeah. So
That's
I
a
always
fun
love
one.
that. Like they had that in like, I remember they had them in like Xinyan's domain for that, like that the summer event in the Golden
Yeah, the
Apple
light
Arc a while
panels, I
ago. Yeah,
think.
the light panels like
Yeah.
in the sky, but they had like music. And there's a couple of times where they used that puzzle, but I mean they just had it in Sumeru in like glowing flower or grass patches. So I really liked that, and the aesthetic of it was really nice. Like I would love to do like a giant puzzle of just that. You know, it'd be kind of cool. I don't think you can do this, right? Like I wish you could make that in your teapot. Like make a challenge puzzle like that.
Yeah, you can.
Can you do that one? The light puddle one?
Yeah, because not specifically this one, but they have objects you can buy that
Yeah,
trigger when
that
you
do
reach
like
that point.
Yeah, you can do like those kind of things.
Yeah.
But I meant specifically like the Sumeru light puzzle with the grass.
Oh no, not
It'd
this
be
one.
really cool
Not
to
yet.
make that one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's musical instruments that you can play, but nothing that like triggers like a puzzle event. I can almost
Right.
guarantee you they're gonna do that
I would love that.
because if they can make that kind of reactive objects in your teapot,
Yeah.
you could easily make a puzzle out of that, reveal something or open a door. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, imagine if we could like make our own custom domains in our teapots so that we can like do like challenge.
Well, they'd let you make custom domains whenever they had those limited events going
Right. Yeah.
on. Some people did it, some people did not, but it was, I think one of the reasons, not the biggest reason, but one of the reasons why not too many people did it or spent time in it is because it was just too bland and straightforward. It's just have a block here, have a coin over
Yeah.
here,
No,
and then that's it.
for domain, I mean like literally like spiral abyss, like make my own spiral abyss, like challenge myself with my own enemies. You know.
Gotcha.
Anyway.
Riding Shogun everywhere. All right, so from Spotify, we have a Pimsel Balto, the rune ones in the new desert. They're just super easy. Okay, there's a couple of rune ones because it's a desert and it's King Deshret's tomb and everything. There's a lot of runes, but the new desert, I'm assuming you're talking about the runes on those little blocks, those little stones with like little blue runes on it, and you have to like find another set of rocks and change theirs to match it. I believe that's what he's talking about. Because I don't think there's any other rune puzzles other than you have to find stone tablets with runes on them and then bring them back to that one big, well not big, but like a little spire at the entrance of another tomb. I mean, when you say runes in the desert, it's a lot. There's like a lot of things that use it. But I'm pretty sure he's talking about the new ones where like little stones, blue runes, which you can, well, some of them don't move or change when you hit them, but some of them do. You basically have to find the ones that don't change and find the ones nearby that can change and match them to the ones that don't change. So like you're pairing them. It's actually pretty cool. It is super easy. So I'm pretty sure he's talking about that one. Okay. We have Sam. Hold on. Yeah, we have Sam. The time trials with the enemies, since Ayaka is the best character ever. Totally not biased. So the time trials with the enemies, since Ayaka is the best character ever. Totally not biased. I think it's just time trials with enemy spawns, and Ayaka does make quick work of them, especially when you have like a good buff on her. She attacks really fast, like I'm not electro, but like elemental attacks that do like really fast instances of damage. Yeah, very strong. Next up we have Toga Simp, and of course the profile picture. The electro current ones. Now the electro current ones, I think, do you know which one they're talking about? I think I know.
Yeah, the ones, I think it's the ones where you have to connect the
the circuit, yeah.
The circuit, and you got to use like the floating purple things. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like those.
Yeah, those are pretty
yeah,
nice.
I really do. Those are fun because you can actually decide like what the actual solution is. You can kind of stretch one line out. It's not like so cookie cutter where like it has to be exactly at this point. You can kind of stretch it around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you could also like connect it too. You could like, if you're affected by electro, the line goes through you too. I like that. Next up, we have Wanling Yi, the flower puzzle in Sumeru. Hey, Josh, your favorite.
Yay.
That's what it's called. It's nice to be able to solve everything without referring to any guides, which I had to for others. Maybe my IQ is just low, haha. You know, yeah, that the flower path does not require a very like high IQ, and it also is not taking too long.
What? IQ has nothing to do with it.
Well, no, but they're just making the comment about their
Yeah.
IQ. But
Yeah, I think your IQ is fine. Okay,
It's
like your
fine,
IQ is
yeah.
fine. It's a fun puzzle. You know, you can kind of just figure it out even just by running around on accident. Like it's, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of the puzzles you can solve on accident. Like some of them are hard. Some of them, like, you know, you got to do a lot of digging into. You got to do some calculating in some cases, but you can solve a lot of them by accident. And by that case, you can almost solve it by accident and then figure it out that way. You don't necessarily need to like know how to do it before you start it, right?
Yeah. Like the ones that I definitely like found out or solved by accident were definitely in Inazuma, when you have to like make all of those electro blocks face one way, one direction. I've definitely done my fair share of just spamming attacking because I was just so frustrated with it, and it worked. Next up, we have Amel Strange, popping floaty bubbles in Liyue. So satisfying. You know, anytime you have to pop a bubble, it's always fun. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just satisfying to see like things just pop out of existence. It's just silly. You know, I have a question. Josh, when was the last time you blew bubbles? Just randomly.
Wait, like actual like take a bubble dip thing and then blow bubbles?
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago?
Remember that?
No, because like it just happened. Okay, it's really funny that you say that because like before that, years, I have no idea, but like actually 2 weeks ago, like was the last time I did it.
I'm always blowing bubbles with the soap in the shower. It's every now and then.
I guess that's the way. I meant literally
it's funny.
like a dip with a bubble stick and you blow it like
No,
that. That
just
is
bubbles.
I did two weeks
Just
ago. I
making
did that.
bubbles.
Yeah.
Okay, and lastly from Lex Luto, Sal Teray, unlocking the dungeon, breaking seals, hunting for special rock, lowering water levels. That was some Tomb Raider Indiana Jones level stuff. Okay, Sal Teray, it sounds so familiar. I just didn't know what the name of it was, but I know what you're talking about, like lowering the water level so you can go through and unlock that. I think it's by the Apon Woods. Or Sal Teray.
It's in Liyue, right?
Sal Teray. Wait, Liyue. Were you able to lower the water levels?
Yeah, there was a place where you do that.
Ooh, that was a while ago. I don't know if I remember that one specifically.
Yeah, it's in Liyue.
Wait, Sal Teray is in.
It's
Liyue.
it's the place, Sal Teray. It's the place with the salt god. Remember, like the salt. It's like where Zhongli like destroyed that place, and it's like a bunch of like little islands to the right of the Wangshu Inn.
Oh wait, Guiyun Stone Forest?
No.
Or no?
Like Wangshu Inn, and then to the right of it.
Oh, that one. Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was a while
you have to drain that water to get to the domain at the bottom.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, and then there's the
Yeah,
story
because there's like a really like
about the salt god and the people who worshipped her, and like
Yeah,
all
I
this
was
stuff.
there.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't? No, it wasn't Guizhong. Guizhong turned to salt.
Guizhong? Wait,
right?
what? Wait, what?
Like they
Guizhong?
found her. No, like when they found Guizhong during the Archon War, she was like a statue, or like she was broken.
Something.
Was she a pillar of salt?
No, she was in a pillar of salt.
Maybe I probably was crossing over
Yeah.
some stories, but yeah, Salt Teray. I'm looking at it. I'm like, yes, I remember that, just dropping all the way down into that really deep cave. It had a lot of special rocks in there. Yes, now I remember. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. And that'll be all from Spotify. Josh, what about from the community Discord?
Okay, so from the community Discord, we have Sarah, the infamous 3x3 rotating puzzle cube. Wait. From Sarah, the infamous 3x3 rotating cube puzzle in Watatsumi Island. The reason this one was fun, in particular, was because of the outcry it caused in the community because of the difficulty. Most people turned to YouTube for a guide on how to solve it, but I was stubborn and spent almost 1 hour with a pen and paper to figure out the logic. But you need to be attentive enough to read the hints that are given in one of the notes nearby, otherwise you have no chance. Each cube is assigned a value depending on the way it's facing. North is 1, east is 2, south is 3, and west is 4. The cube with the extra rock on top gets plus 4 value to this number. The space without a cube is 9. The secret of the puzzle is that the sum always becomes 15 if you add the stones along any row, column, or even diagonal. If you just go full ape mode and randomly turn the cubes until it works, you can also do that. Yeah. It's Sudoku.
When I was okay, here's the thing. I just solved this puzzle while I was trying to get those electro sigils to unlock the level 40 because I knew there were chests there. But here's the thing. I don't think people would have known that you can solve it 3 times and get 3 chests. Because once a chest pops out, there are 2 more. But it does not immediately tell you that you can do it again. You have to log out and log back into the game.
What the heck?
And then there's 2 other solutions. I don't think people would have ever discovered that. Because typically, when you have a puzzle, the moment the reward shows up, you think it's done. I would have thought it was done. If no one looked it up, they would have missed out on like 2 luxurious chests. So, yeah, I know this puzzle very well. I do like this puzzle. I just think that it could have been presented a little bit differently. Because
I don't think I've done
that
this.
they're talking about. Okay, it's on Watatsumi Island. Yeah, it's right next to the teleporter. It's very, very close. There's like 9 blocks. Some of them don't move, but some of them rotate and they light up when they are facing a direction that where it is part of a sequence.
Right.
Because you can turn them and they don't light up. That means they're not supposed to face that way and they're not connected in any way to any of the solutions. But the reason why I like this is because it is very clever in this presentation. It's in its solution, but it's not presented as, oh hey, solve this 3 times and you get 3 rewards, or hey, here's how you can figure it out visually without having to find something else nearby. The note does give you the mathematical formula or like the legend, but it isn't presented very well. But the puzzle itself is cool. It's very good. It seems like it seems too small too. For something that gives like 3 really big chests, it doesn't seem like a very like significant puzzle. And like I mentioned, if you only solved it once, there's 2 more. So, well, what other puzzles did they find?
So Peachy, hello again, Peachy, says the Mona and Fischl ones. So I'm assuming that they mean from the Golden Apple Archipelago event.
Yes, I'm pretty sure because Mona and Fischl being in the same sentence for puzzles. Yes. I remember
the Mona had the stars, so she had like little stars.
That one was fun.
Some of those were hard. Like some of those were like really hard to figure out, like what they wanted you to do, like because sometimes you had to unveil more of the constellations by like doing stuff.
Or like take one off and put it into another puzzle.
Yeah, and so like those kind of things. And then I remember like official ones. There's 2 kinds I remember specifically, which are like the ones with the birds that are like there's a bird on a rail and you have to make his path to the end by like pointing the camera like to make it look like the like those are one of my favorite kinds of puzzles too, like those perspective puzzles. So trying to make it look like the path is closed, and then the other puzzle is like the play, right? Like where you have to see like who was the one that was lying, or like you have to play like a detective game. Yeah. What do you think about
the official one? Okay, the official one where you had to use a specific camera lens and look at things in a certain angle. I did not like that one.
Oh, really?
It wasn't because it was bad. The puzzle is good, but the very precise angle that they wanted was way too difficult to line up.
Oh yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
You're talking like pixels. If you're on mobile, you're not gonna get this. If you're on a computer with a mouse, it's still hard.
It's so funny
Maybe
because
it's
I think
me,
it's
maybe
the
it's my
opposite.
mouse.
I think it's like
I don't
the
know.
controller is harder because you can't be as precise when you're moving the way that you can with the mouse or the
Mhm.
touchscreen. Like that was like
Yeah.
when I wanted to move it just a little bit to the left, I would like tap the control stick, but it would like make it go really far. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And there has been a few times in that, and I'm like, wait, this does connect. The perspective is right, but it's because I had to bring the camera up, like literally like up on the x-axis just slightly, or like on the y-axis. Sorry, up on the y-axis just very slightly. Even though visually, all the edges lined up, it wasn't where the game's camera saved like the solution for it. So it was way too particular. It was way too picky. There was no room for error. It's that you have to be this exact spot, looking this exact way, and that is it. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I
mean,
think
liked
it wasn't like perfect
but
mechanically, but the idea
Mhm.
was definitely there.
Yes, I like the idea.
Yeah. So Kazu said, all puzzles down in the ruins of the desert. I had so much fun exploring them.
Yep.
Yeah, the desert ones are pretty.
Are
They're pretty
you-
refreshing.
Are you max clearance yet, or no?
No. I've been playing my
Mhm.
America account. I tell you, I've been neglecting my Asia
Yeah.
account.
Yeah, it's great. They are great puzzles. The idea of like clearance is also a very good way to tell people, hey, no, keep looking, keep going, you have like things to unlock eventually. It's like leveling, but you're leveling a tablet, and then hey, now that you're level 4 tablet, you can go and unlock this other place that you ran into. Remember? So it gives people reasons to kind of run around some more or remember certain places, like not just straight path. Hey, go right past this and never come here again.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Angel said, I love the one in Liyue with the 3 towers. You have to complete puzzles in each to get a piece to unlock a seal. Oh, that was the one.
I think that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, I think the one that's because wait,
But
wasn't
towers?
Yeah, it was like the one where there's one.
Hmm.
One of the puzzles that you have to climb the tower. One of the other ones is you have to fight the enemies in the tower. And then there was something else. I don't know. I just remember that one. I was really stuck there for a little bit, I think, because I didn't know you had to climb the tower. Because it didn't seem like you should be able to climb the tower, but you could technically. Yeah, I don't remember.
Interesting.
But yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. I remember the one with like there's like 9 towers.
Oh, that one's different.
The,
Yeah.
the geo pillars or something.
Yeah, that one's different. But yeah.
Okay.
I like the cube puzzle. Oh, Amaterasu. I like the cube puzzles in Inazuma because I was always super lucky with them. Most of the time I couldn't figure out how they were connected, but I managed to solve them with a few hits anyway. Yeah, so that's a nice puzzle sometimes, right? Like, you just like brute force it. You know, maybe it is confusing, and to figure it out, like, you can just kind of keep hitting it. But yeah, I mean, those are always nice. Pretty simple.
Yep.
Paimon Yaka. I like the electric conduction puzzle in Inazuma, so satisfying. I also like the nurseries in Sumeru, they're so fun. Yeah, with the electric conduction puzzle, those are great. The nurseries? Wait, what is the nursery? Wait, that's the one. That's the grass one.
Oh, that's what they're called.
Okay, I did not know that the grass
okay.
ones are called nursery puzzles, but yes, those are also my favorite. Yay, nice, Paimon Yaka.
Well, you are trying to grow the flowers, so that makes sense.
So thank you all for your responses to the questions. As always, get ready for our next question, which is, what new permanent game mode would you like to see in the game? So a completely different game / genre, similar to like TCG. Like, what other kind of game would you want to see in Genshin? And let us know, answer the question either in our Discord, on Spotify, or by replying to our Twitter post about this episode. So thank you all for your community discussion. Hopefully we'll talk to you more soon. So I want to introduce our last segment, which is going to be the last segment of every podcast, suggested to us by actually someone in the community, Void Archangel. Thank you so much for this awesome idea. And at the end of every episode of Genshin Guys podcast, we will both roll one single roll. We will pull once on the gacha. We can pick which gacha we want. It can be the event gacha, it can be the standard invocation, or it can be the weapon banner. So at the end of every episode, we will roll one time so we can share together the experience of rolling. So Kahi, are you ready?
Ready. I believe I know which banner I want.
Okay. So what are you gonna roll for?
So because right now, as of this, Hu Tao and Yalan are still available, as well as the weapon banner for the Aqua Simulacra and the Staff of Homa. I already have Hu Tao, I already have Yalan, but I definitely need to get some more weapons for some other characters, maybe not necessarily for them, but I do want to see if I can try my hand at another weapon. So, what about you, Josh? What banner will you be pulling for?
I'm going to pull on my America account in the weapon banner for either Aqua Simulacra or Staff of Homa.
All right. May the luck gods shine upon your rolls here, sir. Who do you want to go first?
Okay.
You want to go first?
So yeah, let's see. I'll go first then. Okay, and go. And it's the Skyrider sword. So it is a 3-star, 3-star weapon,
Nice.
as expected. Kahi, what about you?
Well, gonna be wishing for the weapon banner. Wish me luck. Wish
Good
number
luck.
1. Fire away. It is blue. What is this? It is cool steel.
Oh, what a
no.
cool roll, Kahi.
Eh.
3-star swords all around.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
Well, that was a good wish. So hopefully one of us will get lucky in the future eventually. I would love to see an episode where we both get a 5-star. That would be fantastic. That would be the best episode ever. Okay, so but that ends our show for today. As always, thanks for listening. If you have time, please leave us a comment and a review. We'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening. Follow us on Twitter at Genshin Guys Pod. Follow me on Twitter at JSide Gaming and Kahi at Kahiao, Kahiyao. And as always,
Ad Astra Abyssos.
星と支援を目指せ
Enjoy.